It's been a while. It has been a while. So, I'm sorry it's been so long. I've had things going on, and also these videos take a very long time to do, especially if the game I'm covering has a lot of ports. I am looking for games that do not have so many ports. The Katamari one, I was only going to do the 2 versions because there's only 2. I want to do stuff like Dragon's Dogma, where there are a million different versions. You know, you got the PS3, whatever, I don't have to go into it. But there's also been things that have been happening in my life outside of making videos. I recently remodeled my house, and during that time I would wake up, do some stuff, go to work, come back, do more stuff, and then go to sleep. So I did that, and it took a month or so, and got it done. And then I had to do smaller little things, so I didn't really have time for this sort of stuff. But then after I took a break or whatever, I went to Japan for 2 weeks and learned the ways of the samurai. I mostly went for work, but I also drank a lot. If you are ever in Shibuya, check out Mikkeller. And if you're ever in Nakameguro, check out Beer Boy. I also bought a shit ton of stuff for like normie shit. Chalk markers, whiskey, chocolate, and a card game called Love Letter. Maybe I'll do a port report on that, because there are so many versions. I also bought some nerd shit. I got the first volume of Berserk, the manga. I bought a bunch of Evangelion figures. If you haven't seen it, it's on Netflix now. Yeah, but you don't get the ending, so I don't know. I'm not going to go deep into that. I also got a figure of Mugi, who is my waifu. And then I bought a shit ton of video games. So for Famicom, I got Joy Mech Fight, which was never released over here. I also got a Final Fantasy 1 and 2 multi-cart, which turns out was Square's last physical cartridge that they made for the Famicom, which is pretty cool. For SNES, or Super Famicom, I got Final Fantasy IV, which is probably one of my favorite games of all time. I will probably do a port report on that at some point. I also picked up Kirby's Dream Land 3 because it's known to be sort of hard to emulate. So I'm actually sort of interested in seeing how the Switch handles the semi-transparent effects that it has in there. I also picked up Tactics Ogre Let Us Cling Together, which is a great strategy RPG. It was like $5 at a store that I didn't even know sold video games. And then I also picked up Gourmet Squad, which apparently is produced by a company in San Antonio, Texas. So I'm not really sure why I bought it in Japan. Anyways, for Genesis, I picked up Sonic 1. I wanted to get something that was more exclusive, but the Genesis is not really that popular in Japan, which is sort of interesting to me. It also has a very philosophical comment about don't sit there and waste your precious time. If you want to do something, do it now. There was a lot of random philosophical quotes all over the place. The Switch is also region free, so I picked up the Kill la Kill game. It's sort of a little disappointing, and I was like, maybe I'll get to practice my Japanese a bit. But it detected I was on a US Switch, and so it switched everything to English. So that's sort of a bummer. But, I guess I can switch everything back to Japanese. Not that big of a deal. Anyways, other than that, I've been playing Colonel Sanders' new game. I Love You, Colonel Sanders, a finger-licking good dating sim. I've just been really into it, just been really putting in the hours, and just obsessing over every little detail. The characters, they are so memorable and so multidimensional. I mean, take Ashley. Her, central dilemma is the number of letters in her name. Or Van Van the Man Man, who, always, has things that he repeats. But, I mean, really, the focus is how dreamy Colonel Sanders is, and the great recipes that you make with love and affection, and that's how you really, get to the heart of the game. A pro gamer like me, beat this adventure actually reading everything in, an hour. If you're maybe not a pro gamer, it could probably take you about 60 hours. And if I just clicked everything through, because I have the whole game memorized by now, I could probably beat it in 10 minutes, but, I wouldn't want to rob myself of the enjoyment of, the Colonel Sanders experience. So, that's pretty much it. Bye.